This isn't your usual Oticon intent review video. We have 16 of our customers who use these hearing aids. They've each made a video review, pros and cons, completely unbiased, but in total it's an hour and a half of reviews. Who has time to watch that? So I've taken what I thought were the most useful comments from each of those reviews and put them all in this video for you. As always, if you're looking for great prices on Oticon Intent with local care included, be sure to check us out at ziphearing.com. Enjoy.
I'm not sure how this is going to work for everybody, I got to say. For me, these are really nice. They're not perfect, and there's still, I've been in restaurants where it's very loud and it's hard to hear some people, but the first time we went out for dinner at a nice place, the waitress said, "Have a nice evening." She was across the room, on the other end of the table, and I was like, whoa, I heard what she said. This was fantastic. So they're better. It's not perfect, but my hearing is not perfect, and it will never be perfect.
Now, what is it about it that I don't like? Is there anything I don't like? Yeah. It doesn't have batteries. So what that means is it needs recharging every night. I need to use this little puppy and put these in there every night. And if that's fine at home, but if I'm on the road, I have to take this recharger with me, and if I lose it, that's a mess. It was a lot easier if I had batteries and I just take some batteries and take them along with me in my DOP kit and put them in once a week. Now with this thing, but the one good thing about this, the best thing about it, is that the cord comes off. So if there's any damage, I simply have to replace the cord and not a couple $100 for the whole thing. That's one part of it. The other part of it is a little more complicated, and that has to do with the shape of this thing. It is smaller in length than most hearing aids, which is great, but because it doesn't have a battery, it's fatter, and it also sits at the top of my ear. So if I'm wearing glasses and I put the glasses on, you've got the glasses, you've got the microphone, and you've got the battery up here, up all between my head and my ear. There's a lot going on there. It is not horrible, but you have to get used to it. And one thing you might want to do is, if you're wearing glasses, you don't want to get glasses with a real thick frame, because that's just going to create more of a problem up there. Get something maybe with wires.
But it's the Oticon Intent one. It is small, and actually, if I had enough hands, you can put them in your hand, and I can put a quarter, and a quarter will cover both hearing aids. I actually have a picture where I did that. They're small, they're light, they are really good at connecting to Bluetooth. I don't have any connection issues at all. I'm still getting more familiar with them because it's only been, 6 weeks or something. It hasn't been long enough to fully adjust to them.
Though that on the sort of challenging side, that the linkage with the cell phone is not very good. So I'm constantly battling with people on the other end of the phone. They can't hear me very well. If I get more than 6 or 8 feet away from my phone while I'm talking, one ear or the other will drop out, and sometimes the connection totally gets lost. So that's baffling to me, because I've had Bluetooth phone accessories before, and I could get 40, 50 feet away and I'd be okay. But I think Oticon is working on that. I hope they hope they get it squared away, because that's a downside for me.
Recently got an Oticon Intent 1 hearing aid, and I'm really pleased with it. The information says that when you turn your head, the microphones turn with you, and so you're more likely to be face on with or ear on with what that person is saying. It's hard to know because you're not wearing another hearing aid to compare, but I really feel like I'm asking people less to repeat what they've said.
The cost. So whenever I decided on the Oticon Intent, I went and I started calling hearing aid companies
Um, um, and I found that the prices were all over the board. I mean, they were just from one place to another. So I finally ended up online. I heard this somewhere that Zip Hearing was doing some of this as well, and this was all online. However, you would go to a hearing aid company that would test you and also would fit you. And so when I talked to Grant Davison at Zip Hearing, and I said, hey, these are the ones I'm looking for. So I had a pretty good idea what I was trying to find, and I decided on the Oticons, and he gave me a price. The price is by far better than any price I got if I called separately by the company. So if you call the companies, get a price if they'll give it to you, then call Zip Hearing and say, hey, these are my hearing aids I'm looking for. I think that you'll find that Zip Hearing will do a better price, and they'll get you a place where it's close to where you live, that you can go in and get them fitted and get the price that you've already negotiated.
So bottom line, I am really happy with the Oticon Intent, specifically because of the marked increase in speech and noise capability. It really makes me feel more comfortable going out in groups.
Hearing aids are not headphones. Hearing aids do not have the ability to deliver the low-end response that a headphone would give you. So if you're listening to some music, it's going to sound thin and it might sound tinny. It's not great. It's not going to be headphones. Don't expect that. But what you can expect is something that will sound decent.
Hearing aid, you can see the hearing aid is very discreet. You see a little tube that runs up my ear, and the hearing aid itself is behind the ear hearing aid, and it's very comfortable. You don't even know you have it on. You can't feel it. Once you get used to it, it's just there. Quickly put it in, and the tube fits very well in your ear. They have different sizes. Make sure that it's up against your ear so you don't even see it. Thing I like about the hearing aid is, the other thing I want to show you is the charger. I know it's hard to see, but there is a red and blue dot. The red is the right hearing aid, and the blue is the left. The charger is easy to use. It has about a 5-foot cord on it, so it reaches, very far. You don't have to worry about getting too close to a plug. My previous hearing aids were all battery-operated hearing aids. This is the first rechargeable hearing aid that I've used, and really like them. They last close to 24 hours when fully charged. I put mine on in the morning, and I take them off when I go to bed. At least 50% of the battery is left at the end of my day. So I know they're charged and doing well. I could go pretty much 24 hours if I needed to.
And the Oticon Intent is a really sophisticated hearing aid. And what I find most interesting is the day I got them, I came home and turned the TV down. And my wife laughed. She said, "You've never done that over the time that you've had, hearing impairment." So turned it down. And I think the most, from my standpoint, the most significant hearing benefit is being able to see or hear the difference between the S and the Fs and things of that nature. Those things that those of us hearing impaired were just like not sure what that was. The Oticon Intent does that extremely well, and better than anything that I've ever seen or heard of before. The other thing that was important for me was to be able to have an app. And here they have the app that is the companion app that goes with it, because there you can switch it out and being able to change your streaming, because I tend to like to stream music through it. And you go into, even though it adapts automatically, when you go into speech with, noise and things, sometimes I turn it on ahead of time. I really haven't had to do that because the system is so sophisticated, it switches it out automatically.
So end result is I really like these. These are substantially better, really no comparison. I took these off. I was helping a friend build a cabin, and there's a lot of dust there and a lot of noise. So I thought, well, let me take my old hearing aids, my Costco hearing aids, and try those so that if they get dusty or something or damaged, I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I put those on, and man, that was just, it's like, how the heck did I hear with these before? It was really something. With the difference is dramatic. They sound very hollow. These have a clarity that I really like, and that really sold me on them. Is voices sound like voices. There's I think clarity is just the right word for it. They're just much clearer. When you turn the volume up, I've turned them up once in a while, and the TV is a little bit low. I'll turn them up, and everything improves in volume. It's with the other hearing aids I had, you turn them up, and the everything that you didn't like was also increased. But these just don't have a lot of sound that I don't like. They're reproducing what I want to hear, and so when I turn them up, they turn up what I need to hear. When I turn them down, it's the same thing. If I'm in a loud room or something, I just don't quite like the volume, I can turn it down, and I can still make out voices because that clarity is not lost in that lower volume.
Oticon 1, I've had it for now about 3 months, and I am very happy with it. It has improved my hearing tremendously. I have no more problems with wind noise. I have no more problems in restaurants or even out, like I said, on a pickleball court where I have people talking to me from all different directions. I notice that it's comfortable to wear. It streams well. I use my iPhone and my iPad to listen to music and even look at television and videos on it, and I have absolutely no issues with it connecting well with that. It's very comfortable. I do wear glasses 90% of the time. I have them in now, not noticeable. And they're very comfortable with the glasses on. I don't have any problems with them interfering.